Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So today I am going to do a resin frog, but he's going to be like a two-toned effect. So he's going to have glitter and that in some portions of his body, and then a silver body after that. So I've seen Julie Cuts do this, and it was really cool, and I want to make one, and I thought I might as well do a video if I'm going to make it. So what I have got here is blue glitter and silver glitter, so twice as much blue than I do silver, and a little bit of resin, not too much. So there's probably 20 mils of resin in here. So I'm going to pour this down into certain portions of his body to try to get the effect that I'm after. So you'll see it as I go. It's hard to always explain, but he's going to have glitter in certain parts of the body, and then the rest will be a plain color resin. So it kind of gives him a two-toned look to him. So I'm just going to put my stick somewhere for the moment, and I'm going to pinch my cup to get a bit of a spout, and then I'm going to pour it in to these deep parts of his legs. Not too much. And then this leg. Whoa. That spout did not work that time. Alright, try it again. Okay, I'm having issues with the spout. Get out a wipe. So I can clean up some of the other bits after, but he's got some in both of those legs. Now I've got to try and get some into these legs, which is going to be the harder part. Just a little bit in that, and a little bit in this one. Too much. That's alright, it's flowing down into his body. I can fix that after. And now I'm going to pour a bunch that goes into his body and his head. I'm just going to pour it straight into the body and let it fall down into his head, maybe a tiny bit more. Okay. Now, let me get my stick back out. If possible, I'm going to try and get a dot in his toes, but I think I'm going to have a bit of trouble doing that. So I just want one drop. Oh. Right, now over here. One little drop. There. The toes aren't very big, so I just got to be careful I only get one drop in each. Looking good so far. One more. Okay, so there we go with his toes. They're not doing too bad. They're mostly staying put. Some of the arms have dripped down. And the legs seem to be good. I might have to put a tiny bit more in that one just because it's not as even. How does that look? Maybe one more will scoop. There we go. Just want them to be even. And in his head, he's got a lot of little glitter, but not a lot of chunky glitter. So I'm just going to put some of this chunkier one down in that head area. So it probably went into the body and then sank. Can I get one drop in that? And one drop in that. Oh. Alright, so he's looking good. There could be some slight imperfections, but it's art. It does that. So I hope you guys can see this. I'm going to try and wipe up those drips while I can. Actually, I'll wipe up this one. I don't think I'm going to get those ones without doing too much movement on this, and I don't really want to move it too much. If there's any spots you need to fix, just use something to clean it out with. Just got this little scrapey thing here that I can use to just, oops, just do little touch-ups with like that. You don't want to have any hard bits of resin where you don't have the puddles. So this is where his foot's going to give me a little bit of hassle. When I poured it in, it touched the edge, and it's going to leave a little bit of hard resin on the side, and I don't want that. Alright, I might be able to fix those up a bit later. But this is it. That's it for part one. Fill those little spots with resin and glitter, and then let them settle in and see how they go. Once they are hard, then we'll come in, dust the mold and pour in resin. So then he'll have that kind of glitter in parts and resin in other parts without the glitter. So that's it for this video. So I'm going to stop this, and we will come back tomorrow for the other part once this is all hard and set up. I've just got to climb up to get to my camera. Alright, I'll see you all tomorrow. Well, in a few seconds. Okay, bye. Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So we are at stage 2 of our resin frog. I'll move this out of the way. So what we've done is we've poured that resin in with the glitter, and it has gone hard. So now this is settled and ready for the next step. have a mask on, and it's very, very hot today. Like, I'm cooking. I don't have aircon in my art area. Actually, I don't have aircon in most of my house. So what we have here is I have aluminium metal powder. So we are going to dust this with the metal powder to get virtually all the area, the silicone mold, coated in it. So it is very light and floats away, so just be very careful with it. I find, especially when taking the lid off, that's when it goes everywhere. So what we just do is we just dip our paintbrush in, and we just paint the mold, or dust it, whatever you want to call it, just to get it coated in the metallic powder. So it goes on quite easily. Now, right there, I see a tiny little imperfection, which I think is a little piece of resin. Yes, it is. That has got stuck to the mold. Get that off without disturbing the bits that are actually the proper bits that you've got in there, because you don't want them to lift, otherwise resin's going to get underneath it and change the look of it. So what we do is we just keep dusting every single part of the inside of this mold, and just look for any of those little imperfections where you can see that a piece of resin has, like a drop has just stuck to that mold, apart from the areas that you purposely put in with glitter. I hope that makes sense. And we just got to do this over every inch of it. So you got to pick it up, but carefully, because you just don't want to lift up any parts of that glitter parts. Otherwise, resin will get in underneath it and it will change the pattern or the view of what you're actually trying to achieve. So getting in up and under these legs is probably going to be my trickiest part, but you can kind of see it as you go. Getting there. There's always going to be tricky parts to every mold that you do. This one here has got quite a lot of details and in-depth nooks and crannies that you got to try to just get up and into. I can try and bend that a little bit. That's better. I sometimes find doing the trickier parts first is sometimes the best way to go. You can see a little bit of dust patter there flying off. So just got to be methodical while doing this and just get all of it, because where you dust it you will get a different look than if you just poured in resin with this mixed into it. So we actually want to dust it because it's going to give that actual metallic look to the skin, as we say on this frog. So I'm going to pause the camera and I'm just going to keep going all the way around. So I've done that leg and a part of the body. I'm just going to go around and do the whole mold, and then I will come back and pour some resin in. But we'll get to that. I just don't want to waste all your time watching me dust the mold. So we will be back shortly. I'm just knocking things over, trying to climb on my table to reach my camera. Back soon. Okay, I have finished dusting the mold. Oh God, so warm. I took my mask off and a puddle fell out. It was so hot. Okay, I put that a bit more in the center. Should be able to see it better there. So now I've got my resin mixed up. That's just been sitting for a little bit. Now, well, I'll put it there actually. I don't know how much of this I'm going to need. So I'm going to pour a whole bunch, it's getting quite warm, into this cup here. Probably majority of it. Can't help with the bubbles. They should disperse. Now what I'm going to do with that is, I am going to add some of the metal powder into it. I'm not sure how much. I think maybe a small heap. Because we've dusted, I don't think I need tons of it. So dusting this whole thing, getting in every little nick and groove wasn't the easiest. But now we've got this in here, so we just want to stir this in, just so there's something else for it to grip hold of. Oh, it's sitting on top, it's not. Might have to do a bit more vigorous stirring. There we go, that's better. Probably because it's heated up, it's sitting on the top. This resin's actually gotten very, very hot right now, so it's at the point where it really needs to be poured into this mold. So at the moment it's kind of like a transparent silver, but that's fine because I've dusted it. It shouldn't need much silver in there. I just wanted to put it in just in case there was little parts that the dusting didn't get to perfectly. Now, that will have to do. Now with this, we are just going to pour this in. So I'm going to get a point, and I'm just going to pour it straight into the middle and let it flow into the areas that it wants to. So hot in this art room right now. It's unbelievable how warm it is. So slowing down. I'm going to stop for a second. So it's making its way into all the areas. We're just going to give it a tiny little helping hand to get it to go into the extremities of its feet. Once we help it, it will flow better. There. So I'm just pushing some resin up into its toes. little bit more, come on. There we go. Now, this mould does not look like it's sitting 100% level. I'm just going to make sure there's not anything underneath it that is causing it not to sit level. Doesn't look like it. Could either be my table or it could be the mould itself. Some moulds aren't 100% level. Alright, so we're going to put some more in. Just take it slow. It's doming at this end and it's not completely full at that end. It's going to be a little bit of a pain. It's like I just need the tiniest little thing underneath it. I think even that would be too thick. We will try, I think. Let's see if that props him up a little bit. Now this side's too full and that side's not full enough. Yeah, that's what I thought. They're too thick. I might use the tweezers because they're thinner. How's that? I can feel the heat coming off this. That's still too high. I feel like it's just going to be one way or the other. Well, there's resin in his feet anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. Might have to find myself a couple of pieces of paper. But for now, that's fine. Leaving it as is. So what I'll do is I'm not going to bother with popping any bubbles or anything like that. I'm just going to leave it as is. I feel like if I try and do anything different, it's just going to be become a mess. But he is virtually going to settle. He's going to be probably close to a day before I get to unmold him. But this is it, guys. So silver resin poured into a silver dusted metallic powder mold, which has some resin at the bottom with glitter. So that should be really cool to see. All right, well, I'm going to leave it as this for now, and I will try and catch you guys. Well, you guys will see me in a few minutes or seconds. Try and unmold this tomorrow, and that should be the perfect way. I may try to look for a piece of paper that I can just fold underneath there. All right then, everybody. Well, have fun, and I will see you very shortly for the unmolding. Okay, thanks everyone. Hi everybody, we're back. So we are going to unmold the frog. So I'm going to turn this other light off because it gives off an orange tone and too many shadows. So I'm just going to get some gloves on. You don't have to wear gloves for this, but I prefer, sometimes when I demold things, I like them to be until the air's got to them and actually made the outside a little bit more harder. So this is the frog. He's set up with his silver. It's done pretty good. So now it's just a matter of just unmolding it. So I'm going to start at the back feet. When I've unmolded this in the past, the back feet were the more troublesome parts. So once you kind of learn how to unmold a mold, you learn the best way that it is going to work for that piece. There. A little bit of glitter. always be more careful when I'm doing things like his arms or hands. Hands out, perfect. I'll slide this one through. Alrighty, there's the mold. Put that aside. Get our frog. Turn him over. Now that is fantastic. That is exactly what I had pictured in my head. So let's double check. I've got 2 little air bubbles, but they're tiny. You don't really see them that much. But see how you can definitely see how you've got the really nice polished silver look. That's because we brushed it on. If you poured it in, you would get a different look to that. So you've got this beautiful silver, which is just looks like metallic. Well, just looks like metal, like polished metal. Then he's got blue toes, blue forearms to his elbow, blue legs, and blue body and head. So I will do something with his eyes afterwards, virtually just try to make them a little bit, they look better when they're actually black and they stand out. So that will be an after thing. But overall, he is looking exactly the way I wanted him to. So let me, if I hold him in my hands, it might be easier. But can you see all that beautiful glitter shimmering against that polished silver? Oops, something come off. But yeah, really, really happy. I am probably going to go outside right now. It's getting close to sunset, so hopefully I've got enough light that I can show you him out in the sun. So I'm going to put him down. I'm going to pause the video and then I'm going to get him and take him straight outside so we can get the last bit of sunlight before it goes. But super thrilled. It's turned out exactly how I wanted. So we'll be back soon. Okay, so here we go, everybody. This is him outside. It is just, the sun's actually gone down, so it is sunset, but there's still enough light to kind of show him off a little bit. He looks awesome. Look at those beautiful little toes. So the toes actually do set it off quite well. You've got beautiful glitter throughout the back in these arms and legs. Sorry, it keeps not focusing on everything. But that has turned out exactly the way that I wanted it to. So, let me pick him up. See if I can get... Nah, I'm not going to get any sunlight actually on him because the sun has gone down too much. But there we go. Beautiful little resin frog. Silvery body. Glitter all the way around. Looking pretty handsome, if I do say so. So I can't wait to do some more of these because I think these are just going to be popular with friends and family when I do them. So I won't keep you too much longer. I just hope you enjoyed the video and we'll do some more similar things in the future. So thanks everyone, have a good day, and I will do another video very soon. Okay, bye.